joy in each line signed. Erase it, you'll not mind. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air. Friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair. Love and fun we share. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air. Friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair. Love and fun we share. Late into the night. Pieces fit just right. Heartbeats taking flight. In the morning light. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Glowing joy will show. Will show. Joy will show. Joy will show. 8 hands flying fast. Colors brightly clash. Pieces locked they mash. Time you cannot dash. Edge and corner find. Patterns in your mind. Joy in each line signed. Erase it, you'll not mind. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air. Friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair. Love and fun we share. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air. Friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair. Love and fun we share. Late into the night. Pieces fit just right. Heartbeats taking flight. In the morning light. Piece by piece we go. With each step we grow. Together we know. Puzzle
All right. Hello and welcome everybody to tonight's competition. And I did remember to turn the music off, so sorry if you were hoping to get a freebie there on the bingo card. And if you don't know what we're talking about, SJ, Catherine, and some others have got an EJJ bingo with some of the regular funny things that happen, yeah, on their cards, and seeing if they can complete that. So tonight we have a 50 plus competition. So the top tier of speed puzzlers, so like the top 25%, you could say, are not eligible, or the top 20%, I'm not sure exactly how many, are not eligible for this competition. And the focus is really on the other speed puzzlers and getting to know them a bit better. And we're really looking forward to that. So I'd like to welcome Fuji. Where are you?
Hello, hello. I'm here.
I've got to put you on the screen. Yeah, so we had a theme today. Would you like to tell everyone about that?
Yes, so it's actually a theme that I find very interesting always whenever I talk to puzzlers, which was like, which skills or personality traits do you think influence what you do when puzzling or how you puzzle? And it's always a very interesting conversation starter. So that's actually the first thing that I want to ask you, Michelle. How does it influence it for you?
Yeah, so in regards of personality or skills, like I would say I'm a messy, cluttered person. And that very much transferred over into my puzzling as well. I love busy puzzles. I love seeing everything. I love checking the box and just, yeah, seeing things where they are. So it's a bit chaotic, and that's also something that a lot of people mentioned, how they're, yeah, if they have a chaotic or yeah, hard to focus personality, easily distracted, that also comes into the puzzling. But it's both. It can be a disadvantage, but also an advantage.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There was that one EJJ puzzle with the garden shed or garage or something like that, which was, I think it was a Schmidt, and I heard it from a lot of people, and I was one of them who said that it looks like the inside of your brain.
Yeah, it's like for me that garage sale puzzle really meant a lot to me. It was just like, yes, I got my fastest time on it at that time, a personal best, and it was just like, this is me, like that's my brain. It's like just a whole bunch of a jumble of colorful stuff, and that's what I think. I also tend to enjoy puzzles that have a lot of stuff, and ones that are rather empty, yeah, I don't get along with so well. But yeah, Rika is with us tonight, helping out behind the scenes. Hi, Rika.
Hello, Rika.
Hi, Michelle and Frusi.
Hi. I imagine you're probably the opposite. I imagine you're very organized. And how does your personality affect influence your puzzling?
I don't know if well, I've puzzled with Frusi, so I know I'm a bit more organized than her. But I don't know if I'm like super organized, but I, like, for example, do have a system where I have my pieces and stuff like that. I think like otherwise, like for example, the fact that I'm left-handed, I think it actually helps me quite a lot with puzzling, because it's forced you to, when you're left-handed, it kind of forces you to use your both hands more than I think right-handed people have to use the left hand in general. So I'm quite good with both hands. So I think that helps. And just like I'm quite good at concentrating and like patient about getting through something. So I think those things can help quite a lot with puzzling.
I can only agree on the left-handed things. I'm also left-handed, and like there were these challenges where you have to do something with your non-dominant hand, or like puzzle I don't know how many pieces in like a short time, and like my non-dominant hand is surprisingly skilled, and I think that's an advantage that left-handed people definitely have, because like we live in a right-handed world. And so our right hand is forced to like be functional.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. So if you're left-handed, let us know in the comments, like, do you feel that your non-dominant hand is naturally more skilled because you have to use it living in a right-handed world? That's an interesting idea. And you, Fruji, how would you describe what your skills in everyday life, or your hobbies in everyday life, how that kind of influences your puzzling?
Rika has already kind of mentioned I'm super chaotic, and like I come from an artist family, and I think that says a lot. Like yeah, I do about 6 things all at once. I'm also the busy puzzles type person because like I like the chaos, and I embrace it. And then as soon as I have like gradients and like something that is clean and organized, I kind of get lost in it in a way. So like that's definitely something that is always hard. But yes, otherwise, yeah, the left-handed thing is definitely a thing that I have noticed. And yeah, once we start chatting, I will probably think of some more things. We can jump into opening the puzzle, I think.
Yeah, great. Yeah, well, thanks, Fruji and Rika. Let's check in with our participants for tonight. And welcome to everyone who's following along on YouTube. All right, so yes, you may unwrap your puzzle and remove the stickers as well.
Some participants in the chat has been writing that they are also lefties. So a shout out to all the lefties there. And then Rachel Lundvig also says that her both hands are skilled, which is actually a pretty super skill to have.
I saw when Tammy unwrapped the puzzle, she laughed. She made a big laugh and showed it to somebody in the room, or showed it to another camera. But I think she's going to enjoy this one. So yeah, there are 4 stickers on here. Please remove them. Oh, and Hannah's having a great time as well. Hannah Beavis is excited.
This is a new Ravensburger that I can see.
Yes, this is part of the collection that was released in January. All right, so when you have removed the stickers, please place the puzzle back on the middle of the table so that I know we're ready to go. All right. Just waiting for one person.
Yeah, someone is still fighting a little bit with the tape on the puzzle. Okay, but we're almost good to go.
All right, so Hannah, 4 stickers are off. Just check that the lid comes off easily. Yep. All right. So let's do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And off we go. I think that this puzzle might not be completely new to a couple of people, because I do know some people who have already got a lot of the 2025 puzzles or 2025 releases of Ravensburger so far. I am not familiar with the TV show that this one is about.
It's originally a comic book series, so it's a Japanese one. They're mangas. My husband grew up with these, and my kids have all read them, so they are big fans of One Piece. But they didn't like this because they're used to the hand-drawn images, and they were like, why did they do it with real people? Why did they make a movie? What are they called? Action replays or something, or is it live actions where they get then humans to play them? It's a bit hard when people are only used to the book version. They have their own impression of how they should be. But yeah, maybe if there's a One Piece fan in the chat, they can let us know what they think.
Yes, exactly. I know nothing about this show. It's like, for me, anything that is like manga or comic book series or anime or something like that, I was never into any of them. I did watch a little bit of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that was pretty much it. So like, I can't really say anything about the image itself. For the picture itself, I can talk about, but not its content.
Oh yeah, so actually, so the text on the front says One Piece, but the title of the puzzle is called The Adventures of the Straw Hat Pirates.
Do you know what the show is about?
They're pirates. I know they have lots of adventures, and it's very addictive to read because my kids love them, but I never wanted to get into them.
Well, we can already see some very hard flipping action going on. People are going through. Some are already sorting out some edges. Saskia is doing really good well. And there. We actually have two Saskias next to each other, but both are doing fine.
Yeah, so we have, I'm starting at the in the alphabet at S today. And yeah, of course, we also asked our participants to let us know if their personality or skills influence how they're puzzling. So I'll read those out as we have time. So we have Sabrina B from Switzerland, Sana from Finland, Sarah from Sweden. Now, Sarah has actually done this puzzle. I just saw her time on myspeedpuzzling.com. She's done it before in 54 minutes. So we'll be keeping a close eye on Sarah. We also have Saskia from Estonia on the left, and then Saskia from Germany in the middle. And we also have Simona from Austria. And regarding the theme today, Sabrina says, my lack of focus and patience makes puzzling hard sometimes, but puzzling helps me to improve those skills and I keep getting better. And then Saskia from Estonia says, logical thinking and good visualization skills. Yeah, those are good skills to have in puzzling.
That is definitely something that is very beneficial for puzzling, that is for sure. And yeah. I can also give like a tiny shout out to Simona, because we actually stayed together in Valladolid last year. So we were staying in the same apartment during the World. So go Simona.
Oh, that's true. I think I met her at your apartments.
Yes, exactly. Probably a little bit.
Yeah, and Saskia from Germany says, I'm a quite chaotic person, and so I often jump between parts while puzzling, and I don't like sorting. Well, we can see she's pulled out the edges. We'll see if she sorts.
There is a little bit of sorting going on there. Even that's a very much repeating thing. A lot of people said that they are very chaotic and not organized. And I'm wondering if that is like a character trait that kind of pulls you into puzzling, because like puzzling itself is a little bit of a chaos, if you think about it, that you then kind of organize into a picture in the end. But like it is something that works with chaos. So it kind of
it's taming the chaos, because you're making something complete and you're finding order in the chaos.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so we also have Smilla from Sweden, Stephanie K from Germany, who won the most recent 50 plus competition. We also have Steffi H from Germany, Stein from Belgium, Tammy from USA, and Taya from Finland.
Also a lot of flipping going on. Steffi's hands are also always very good to see. Like her hands are just so incredibly fast. And also her camera angle is very, very cool. Like it's exactly from above, so it's very easy to see her progress. Looks great. Tammy is also, yeah, she already has like most of the bottom edge done. Doing great progress there. And then some sorting going on. There's still a little bit of flipping. Stein also started with the bottom edge. So that might be a popular choice. I would kind of assume that it's either the bottom edge or the top edge that people would go with, because like from what I see on the picture, it stands out quite a lot, but I'm not sure about the sky.
Yeah, so the bottom edge is like dark water. I feel that the pieces are darker than actually on the picture, because I remember when I was doing it, I mean, it was a couple of months ago that I did it, but it just seemed very dark and shadowy down there at the bottom line. And when I looked at the picture now, it looks more reddish, like these reddish waves in there. However, the top skyline is really nice because it's only 1 or 2 rows of this intense blue, and then you already have the heads of the characters coming out. Yeah, so Stein says that his personality is being very stubborn and very competitive.
Yeah, and that's actually also one of the unique answers that we got, that someone mentioned that they are actually competitive. Going into speed puzzling, that is actually like I think also a character trait that can be beneficial for speed puzzling.
Yeah, well, I think it's really helping him because the last few times that he's participated, he's done really well. His placements are getting higher and his times are coming down. So, yeah, keep being stubborn and competitive.
Yes, because it pays off.
Yeah, but I know it's not all about being at the competition. He's also having a great time and making friends. So, no worries there. And Tammy says, persistence and meticulousness. I solve a jigsaw as though I'm untying a giant knot.
Which is also a very poetic way to go around it.
Yeah, and we know that Tammy is a puzzler of all sorts, also word, logic, and room type puzzles, so puzzles of any size. And so she just loves. I also remember listening to one of her videos about wooden jigsaws, and she says when she starts a puzzle, she's trying to understand what is the designer of the puzzle trying to communicate and what are they wanting to share, and then trying to get into the mind of the creator of the puzzle. So. But here with this puzzle was, not so creative, not such a giant mystery of what they're trying to get across. Yeah, we also have Taya from Finland. So everyone's looking really great. Get either working on the borders, Steffi H works sorting out the sky. And yeah, let's see who else we have with us today.
Yes. Taya also said perseverance as well, which is also a recurring personality trait that we see. And then in the meantime, in the chat, we can see that Jim is going completely nuts with the One Piece jokes. Keep them coming, because that might also give a bingo hit for those playing with bingo if he's giggling at himself in the meantime. So Jim, let everyone know if you're giggling at your own jokes.
Yeah, I would have put down awkward dad jokes and puns. Because that he definitely does every time, even if he's in the chat, even if he's not commentating. Yeah, but then you can read some of those comments out. Some of his pirate jokes.
Amazing progress so far, everyone. And yes, it's really what I can see is that either people start from the complete top or the complete bottom. But here we have Veronica, for example, who has started with pretty much the top and bottom edge. And now it seems like she's doing a kind of a pick and place or just sorting out edge pieces. We're going to have to see in the upcoming minute or two of how she's progressing from there.
Yeah, so on screen we have Teresa from Sweden. Yes, I don't see a registration for her, but she has participated a few times before. Teresa from Sweden. We have Ulla from Estonia, Veronica from Germany, Vesna from Finland, Vroni from Switzerland, and Zane from Latvia. And I like how Zane is going straight for the red vest of the main character. Oh, I should know this. I've heard my kids mention this. And there's a lady with red hair. So yeah, so there are some colors that jump out. I mean, definitely anything that contrasts with the blue sky. So the hats and the hair. One of the guy on the left has green hair. Then the second guy has a bandana and dreads. Third guy has a straw hat. Fourth one is a lady with red hair, and then the fifth one is a guy with blonde hair. So I think those will be easy to place for those who like to go for the faces and the hair and the clothing. But yeah, as you kind of descend down the puzzle, I felt that it got more difficult going deeper into the image, and I ended up in the lower strip at the bottom to finish off. But yeah, it looks like a lot of people are going for the sky elements and the figures.
Yes. Susanna's way of going around it, I also like it very much, of like the picking out like the distinct things that are very, very visible. And is kind of already assembling the picture. It is a way of pick and placing already, if I can tell properly from this angle. But yes, a lot of skies are forming all around.
Yeah, and Zane says focus, flexibility, precision, and confidence. So those are good skills to have, and I think we can see that on Zane's screen right now. Very focused, like picking one element and then finding all the pieces, being very focused and precise. Yeah, so we'll see.
This is the kind of discipline that many of us envy.
Yeah. And I like what Ulla says, maybe my ability to do puzzles like activities for hours without getting bored. I think I'm fairly observant too, and this helps to see details on puzzle images. I like manageable challenges, so I enjoy solving larger puzzles too.
A manageable challenge is also a nice way to put it, because like, yeah, that is definitely something, especially with 500 pieces. I think that's definitely a manageable challenge. Some of these extremely large ones are sometimes not really that manageable. If I think about it.
Yes, so we've reached the end of the alphabet, so we're jumping up to the letter A and going to check out Aaron from the UK, Agnes from France, Andreas from Cyprus, Anna from Cyprus, and Anna from Sweden, and Anna from France.
The jokes that are going around in the chat are getting wild. It's like someone said, "Oh my God, it's a 1 piece," and then Catherine said, "No, it's a 500 piece." So yes, just keep the piece jokes coming. And actually, now on the screen with Aaron, his answer is probably the funniest one that we have received, which is the skill to have during puzzling is hunger, because if you puzzle faster, you eat sooner. which I think is very, very motivating.
To plan your dinner for after the competition. That's, oh yeah, that's motivating. Yeah, so so Andreas is doing a great job there on the border, just missing a couple of pieces on the border, but otherwise pretty much done. And looks like he's heading towards the blue skies. Looking quite similar for Anna A and Anna R.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, looks like Anna in the bottom right-hand corner is going more for the reds.
And then from what I can see, Agnes is pretty much working on the edges and doing great progress there as well. Her edge pieces or her working area is a little bit out of the camera, so it's not easy to see. But yeah, there's also an edge forming around there. You can also drop your guesses for the first finisher's time in the chat as usual. And yeah, we're going to see. I'm assuming that this is going to be a faster one. What was your time, Michelle?
My time was like 1 hour and 7 minutes, I think.
So then it's a trickier puzzle than what it looks like.
Yeah, I got a bit lost in the text at the bottom. Oh, no, sorry. Apologies. Okay, it was actually 57 minutes. 57 minutes. All right. Yeah, so for me, I found the text at the bottom was a bit reminiscent of Monaco. It's big and it's blocky, and I mean, you can use the gradient a bit, like towards the top, it's more yellowish, and towards the bottom, you have this reddish water. So that can help, but a lot of the pieces, a lot of the blocks are really close together that you don't even see any of the background to check the gradient. But it'll be interesting to see how people get on with the text.
Yeah, so it sounds like it is definitely going to be a challenge. The big question is, how many edge pieces does a one-piece puzzle have?
Yes, Jim, tell us how many. Yeah, so Andreas mentioned he says, my inability to work on a specific thing for extended periods of time forces me to switch the area I'm working on the puzzle. Yeah, so that's also something to keep in mind when puzzling, to switch from one section to another.
It can be a very handy skill as well, because there are people who try to like persevere and just keep doing what they are working on, even if it's going a little bit harder. And then it is a good skill to be able to let go of something and just jump onto something else, because it might help.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like, you know, I have to finish this border before I can move on. And I think previously with casual puzzling, I would have done that. I would have done, if like I usually would have started with the border, and then I would have been like, okay, oh, they're missing 3 pieces, and I would go through every piece, and I'd look at every single piece, trying to find those border pieces. And now I've learned it's going to turn up, it's going to be fine. So if there's 3 missing border pieces, move on.
Yes, exactly. Work around it. You will find it later.
Yeah. So actually, 5 of the people we have on screen right now have all got silhouettes of the heads. They've all done the blue sky and just got the shapes of the heads.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have Arkadiusz from Poland, Aijalin from Argentina with her Remy watching on her shoulder. We also have Bibi from Denmark, Birgit from Germany, Cameron from Canada, and Kara from Germany.
Yeah, it's interesting to see like the very similar progress that people are doing. This might be also an indication that we will have a lot of finishers all at the same time. So it might be difficult to catch everyone later. But of course, we're going to see how everyone is progressing. And so far, everyone is doing amazing.
Yeah, Cameron is actually going to be our guest interview later today. He's from Canada, but he's living in Bordeaux. And he was actually just in the last weekend, he was in Canada to attend the Canadian Championships. And we'd love to find out more about that.
Yes, that's going to be very exciting to hear.
Yes, we know he brought back a giant suitcase of puzzles.
Yes, I actually caught him with a message like before he left, and I got him to bring me, I think, 2 puzzles in the end. So I'm going to be getting some puzzles later on.
Ooh. So Cameron was the puzzle fairy bringing puzzles from the Canadian Nationals.
Yes,
Very
exactly.
So
he also had a lot to say in the comment field to answer a question, which was, I think I'm easily distracted, which is good and bad. I'm up for switching strategies whenever a section looks to be not working, but random non-useful tangents also often occur that don't really help speedy puzzling. I can tell when a certain solve had been very focused, but haven't yet figured out how to get this to happen more consistently. So he has a more analytical approach to our question.
Yeah, then he can, looking forward to him sharing more about that later. But yeah, everyone's looking great here. I think I mean, it was some time ago that I did this puzzle. I did it as soon as it arrived, but then before we could wrap them, sell them, and then wait for the competition, of course, a couple of months have passed. And I'm pretty sure I started with the blue sky as well. Although I really wanted to do the faces first because it was like, I know where that hair goes. I know where that face goes. But I was like, no, come on, do the top border, do the blue sky, and kind of like get that block out of the way, and then I can work on the more of the busy features. But it's interesting to see how a lot are starting there. And yeah, trying to do the silhouettes first. Arkadiusz is doing pretty well. He's got some of the faces done, and there is that one-piece logo. It's like this pirate looking skull and crossbones, so that's actually a flag on a ship.
Ah, okay.
And that's also a nice piece that you can notice the pieces very quickly in the pile and pull that out.
All right. Okay, good to know.
Yeah. So I just want to mention what Kara said. I think there are certain traits which make you enjoy a puzzle more, like being a multitasker, being a visual learner, or being quick with pattern recognition. But in terms of speed puzzling, these traits may also hinder your success. For example, being a multitasker myself, this helps me not to get stuck with a certain area of the puzzle, but on the more negative side, this also means that my mind easily jumps from here to there, and it makes it more difficult for me to focus on a certain area of the puzzle when necessary. Yeah, I think it's a good skill is then to discern when should I be jumping from around the place and moving on to another section, or when should I be like hardcore and say, no, I'm going to get this done. And knowing when you're looking at the puzzle and at the whatever position or progress you're at, and deciding is it time to stick with it or to jump ahead.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of glad that it came up, like this kind of topic came up at like a 50+ competition, because I feel like these are the skills that people are working on to like get out of the 50+ club, because like these are definitely skills that I think make or break a fast solve in a way, to like be able to decide when you have to be like super disciplined and do something, or be able to jump around and combine like all the skills that you already have and be able to solve the puzzle in like 40-something minutes.
Yeah, so on screen right now we have Catherine from the USA, Catherine from the UK, Charlene from Switzerland, Christina from Denmark, Kieran from Ireland, and Connie from the Netherlands.
Great progress there as well. Catherine also wrote a lot about our question. She said, a bit difficult question, but I would say personality traits differ from solo to team competitions, which is a very, very good point. During a team competition, pairs or teams, you need to be social, talking and communicating often. In any event, you need to have openness to move on to other sections when stuck. Other personality traits would include perseverance, trust, leadership, but not too much, assertiveness, and of course, problem-solving skills. Which is a great way to put it as well.
And she has a lovely cat, Poppy.
That's not necessarily a skill, but it's very useful.
Hey, Poppy, you're blocking the puzzle image. Catherine needs that. No, she's always accompanying Catherine, and yeah, lovely to see a Pausler, one of the EJJ Pauslers helping out there.
Even looking into the camera, I can see.
Yeah, so if we look at Connie's table, we can see blue and white stripes. So the lady with the red hair has a white shirt with blue stripes, and that's like the only white part in the image. So yeah, that's probably see a lot of people pulling that out after they've done the sky. And then we have a bunch of really weird characters that make no sense. There's a guy that looks like a clown. There's a guy, kind of a creepy looking guy with a big nose, and some guy who looks like a rich professor / businessman, and yeah, obviously I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, for the person who is unaccustomed to the One Piece stories, there's a lot of question marks going off in my head. Like, what am I puzzling? This guy has a really long nose. Like, why? And why does this guy look like a clown? And do clowns fit in a world where there are pirates? I don't know. Like, which continent is this set in? Why does nobody, like, there's only one Asian guy? Isn't this whole thing set in an Asian story? I don't know.
It reminds me of, like, at the dawn of YouTube, there used to be a YouTube video that a guy made, and he made his girlfriend, who has never seen Star Wars, explain what happens in Star Wars. This is a super old video, and it was hilarious back in the day, because she really has no clue what is going on in Star Wars, but it's like animated, and the whole thing is just really, really funny. That's kind of the impression that I get from what we are doing now, and how we are butchering One Piece.
I am, and I do that with everything. I'm basically just like I have no reference to pop culture. I have to learn these things from my kids. But I know I'm terrible with anything Harry Potter, Star Wars, manga, anime related. But give me Disney, and I can tell you, I know the words to like almost every song. Don't ask me to sing, but Disney, cute Disney animals and princesses are more my thing, and musicals.
You can pretty much quiz me on Disney, Harry Potter, and Star Wars, and I'm good. But like these kinds of things, I'm not really good with. There was that other puzzle that Ravensburger released this year, which was with a big bunch of robots. That is also some kind of film that appeared at one point.
Yeah, and I have no clue. It's called like drone robots, bots never, drones ever, something like that. So it has a really cryptic name. I haven't seen any advertising for this film, and it's a bit bizarre. There's a guy that looks like a peanut on there, Peanut Man, and in a top hat, and it's just like, clueless.
Yes. And apparently I was talking to someone who has seen that movie, and apparently I guessed what it's about and how it ends without ever having seen the movie or knowing what is exactly in it, just by, like, I think the first sentence of what it's about.
Yeah,
and
so
yes, SJ says that Daria has done this puzzle about 3 times before, and yeah, we can see her progressing pretty well here. It seems like she's in the lead at the moment.
That's true. So she has done it in 44 minutes. We are at 25 minutes. Yeah, so that is the disadvantage of using Ravensburger. By the time it's produced and delivered and sold, and it has passed, and there is the likelihood that people have done it. Now, I know a lot of fast people had done this one, so I didn't pick it for like the regular live. I did pick it for the 50 plus club because I thought maybe it would, less people would have done it. But of course, it doesn't eliminate that there would be some people, and that's okay. If you do a lot of puzzles, then at some point it's going to show up. But yeah, that's why I'm kind of, it's tricky. Like, obviously people want Ravensburger in a competition, but then people want puzzles that haven't been done. So, by the way, we have Daniela on screen. Daniela from Germany, Daniela from the Netherlands, Daria from Denmark, Dietmar from Germany, Dora from Switzerland, and Ekaterina from Russia. Ekaterina, we can't see much of your puzzle. We can only see the pieces. When the pieces, yeah.
Yes, we can't really comment on how the progress is going, but it is possible that she doesn't hear us.
Oh, that's good. She's adjusting her camera. Yeah, that's good. Now we can see your puzzle. Really great job there, Ekaterina, as well. Yeah, so she's, all the sky done and a lot of the elements in the middle there, looking really great. But obviously Daria is storming ahead here. She's already got like about half the puzzle done. So let's keep on moving. I might keep on. We'll get back to her soon.
We will have to keep an eye on her from here on.
And let's check out who else is with us today.
I very much also like what Danielle wrote as an answer. I think as someone who likes to organize and plan and has lists of a lot of things, I also puzzle that way. I don't like random pieces inside the puzzle that don't go there. And when I'm stuck somewhere in a puzzle, especially when speed puzzling, I always turn to sorting by color or texture just to organize my thoughts and help me along. So we have finally someone who is not necessarily chaotic, but is actually like on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah, so we have Eleanor. She is coming today from France. Eric, the not-so-speedy puzzler from the Netherlands. Now, Eric wrote he doesn't know what skills or how his personality influences his puzzling. However, if Inga, Ellen, Yard, or Jim are in the chat, you can tell us since you know his puzzling style. We also have Everly from Estonia, Eva from Poland, and Freya from Denmark, and Hannah from the USA. Hannah was very happy when she unboxed this puzzle, so we'll be happy to see how she's getting on. But yeah, lots. We seem to be seeing people do the same strategy. Nothing jumping out. No one's starting with the text or at this point, or with the water. But yeah, we can see a lot of people heading towards about halfway done, or at least having most of the figures in the sky done.
At this point, I would pretty much say that Eva and Daria are in the lead, around the lead, from what I see from everyone else as well. They're doing incredible progress here. But also everyone else, like the shape of the puzzle is already forming everywhere, which is very, very nice to see. Also, we had some pretty cool answers around here. Eva said that she's quite impatient, and that also influences her puzzling style. She jumps from place to place as soon as I feel even a little bit stuck, which is, again, seems to be pretty useful at this puzzle as well. And then Freya was saying that she's not the most methodical person, so I never sorted or anything before I started speed puzzling. So it's a lot. So a lot of it for me is breaking those habits and trying to actually make my puzzling better, which is what we're here for in the 50+ club, which is very, very nice.
Yeah, so I just heard that somebody's camera is off, but it looks like it is working now. So I'm just going to go back to where I was. So I'm at J in the alphabet. So we have with us Hannah. Hannah from the UK, Inga from Lithuania, Irma from Switzerland, Jana from Slovakia, Janine from Germany, and Jenny from Finland. A little wave from Jenny to the camera. Yeah, if you look at Irma's screen, you can see the new box holders from Ravensburger that we.
Oh yes, true.
These were they were used in the German nationals. Were they also used at the Belgian nationals?
They were used at the Belgian nationals as well. And they are actually nice because like you can see that there's that pin on the bottom of it. Like you can actually fix it so that it doesn't jump apart. Because like what happened to me at Worlds is that I used the old one, which was still just like a triangle. or well, not really a triangle, but it was just like two legs that was holding it. And I put my puzzle in it, and then it, at one point in the middle of puzzling, it just burst open and flopped my puzzle top off the table, which was not very nice.
Was that during a competition?
That was at Worlds.
Oh, yeah, the ones at Worlds were quite flimsy. I haven't actually used it because I still have it. I brought it home as a souvenir, but I do prefer my plastic and my wooden ones, which are more stable.
Yeah, I use my wooden ones always. But these cardboard ones are nice as well. Like so far I have kept them, and I actually have one on my shelf with my puzzles. Sandra had a bingo hit, but I'm not sure what was on her bingo hit. On her bingo.
Oh, I think it was a camera's not working.
Ah.
Okay, we have Jessica from Sweden and Joanna from Switzerland, Jody from the UK, Johanna from Germany, Jolene from Germany, and Jonna from Finland. Yeah, so all looking quite similar here in terms of the strategy. Oh, but actually Joanna Sigurus has got some of the text.
Much ahead.
Joanna Sigurus has got some of the text at the bottom. So yeah, that's also a strategy, is to get the blocky parts out of the way, and then and then if you're good at busies, then do the busy parts a lot quicker towards the end.
Yes. And then Jessica seems to be super organized. Like the blue pieces are like organized even to like point in the same way, which can be helpful, especially if you're sorting after shapes or trying to search for a specific shape. And Joanna K is also doing incredible there. I would put her somewhere in top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are One Piece fans, and if that gave some people an extra boost, or if people looked at it and thought, oh, faces, oh, movie poster. Where am I supposed to start?
Yes, looks like some people are approaching the final rush already. I agree with Catherine. People are doing great, and we're at 33 minutes. So I would put the first 2-3 finishers under 50 minutes, I think. But we're going to see. Okay,
so I'm going to jump ahead because Daria is only got the text left. I'll just check the messages to who is also far ahead. We're only at 34 minutes. Wow.
Yes.
So that also shows of practicing an image, doing an image multiple times, how you can improve your time.
Definitely, Daria is doing incredible here. It's really just the text left. Now the question is, how much is she going to be able to manage it quick, because it is tricky. And then Steffi, we have exactly the other way around. She has most of the text done already. And then basically like the body of the characters is still left. But doing great there. And then Ulla is also doing great. I think she's also working, on one of the characters in the middle. Doing great here. Yeah. But it seems like Daria, unless she chokes up very much on the text, she has this pretty confidently at the moment.
So I'm going to keep Daria on screen. I think we have a few more minutes. There's a few minutes gap between Daria and anybody else. So I'm going to keep on going and checking who we have. See if we get a few more introductions out of the way before the first finish. Otherwise, that's another bingo square.
I'm not sure which bingo square this is now. Which bingo square
there was somebody finishes before the introductions are done.
Ah.
All right, we have Judith from Germany, Yuka from Finland, Julie from Denmark, Karel from the Netherlands, and Karen from USA. But yeah, everyone's looking great there. I'm gonna actually all looking very similar. Oh, everyone's got, looks like most people got the sky done, got the heads done, got the border. So yeah, and 36 minutes. Everybody's doing great, and
Yes, pretty much. This is an outside-in puzzle that you work from the edges. That we can definitely see. I don't think anyone has, like, I think there were 2 people who did like a different kind of strategy. There was one who started to build islands. No, two people who started kind of building islands of the characters. And then pretty much everyone else went with edge first.
We also have Karen on screen, and Karen is from Austria, Katrin from Germany, Katrin from Switzerland, Kirsten K from Germany, and Kim from the Netherlands. Oh, so Katrin Starley from Switzerland has already done the text, the majority of the One Piece text, and has now got gaps in the middle. So good on to Katrin for getting that section out of the way.
And kudos on doing the text first. I always have high respect for these people. Because it is a very, very challenging part of it. Somehow, like we have talked about this before with, in connection with the Monaco puzzle, there was one. No, that was that EJJ with the Capri?
Course.
La Course. And then there as well, it was the text that was mostly the challenging part for everyone. So here it is, and it is definitely a big achievement if you have done that so quick.
Yeah,
so we're still under 40 minutes.
So I've just switched up the screens again. We have Kira from the Netherlands, Laura. I don't have a registration for. Oh, there we go. The last registration to come through is Laura from the USA. Then we have Leah from Denmark, Lena from Germany, and Linda from the Netherlands. And I just want to point out that Leo is doing her puzzle inside out. So she's actually pulled the border, but put them off, pieces off to the side. She's done basically the 5 characters. Yeah. Haven't got them quite connected. Yeah, having a few gaps in. No, there's a main gap there between 2 of the characters. Otherwise, looks like she's going more for the elements that jump out. So quite interesting how she's approaching this one.
Doing great, everyone. Kira is also very close. I'm not sure. I can't see if the bottom part is also already done. Yes, it is, most of it. So like she's also just working on the middle section. She's doing great there. And then for everyone else, there is a big piece of the puzzle coming together already. Laura also seems to be working on some details there that are starting to take shape, which is also great progress. And then Linda seems to be working on the characters first and avoiding the bottom as much as possible.
But for now, it's Daria's race to the finish with herself.
Can she make it in under 40?
Nobody seems to be close at this point. But however, Eva is coming up, not far behind, maybe another 20 pieces. So go, Daria, come on. A few more pieces. I'll find those gaps.
Almost.
Good job, Daria. Congrats.
Yay. Congratulations. Yeah. We can see some party in the background.
Somebody's coming and shaking her. Oh, congrats. So yes, we got to finish before the introductions were done. But Eva is doing amazing as well. And let's check in again with the others who are...
And apparently this is Eva's first try on this puzzle. So that is also pretty incredible.
Yeah, so Daria has recorded her times on myspeedpuzzling.com. The first time she did it was 1 hour and 5 minutes. And today was her 4th attempt, and she did it in 40 minutes. So it shows that when if you can train with a puzzle, and maybe this one was something that she found a bit more difficult, and she just did it over and over again until she could understand how that text works. But yeah, she did an amazing job. So congrats, Daria, on your win today.
It really shows that like the perseverance that a lot of people have mentioned can help you with a lot of things, and to achieve like a first place in a jigsaw jam. Yeah, it is great work. It's also like I'm hats off to doing something now the fourth time, because like I can't repeat things that many many times. So I very much respect anybody who can like go back and do the same thing over and over, because it definitely improves skills.
Yeah, so on screen, and Eva has finished. Yay, congrats.
Congratulations.
At 40, just under 42 minutes. Amazing. So
incredible.
These people are on their way out of, well,
on their way out of the 50 plus.
We celebrate their wins, but the thing is, once you place too highly too many times, then it means you're getting better, which is a great thing. But then you kick yourself out of the club. But fantastic, Daria and Eva. On screen, we also have Ulla, Saskia, Stephanie K, Sarah K.
Steffi is doing amazing again. Also, Saskia is very, very close. It's very hard to tell who is going to be the next one. They're pretty much at the same stage at this point. So it seems like our first two finishers really like jumped ahead very, very much. And then we're going to see who's going to be third place. There's still one podium place open.
Yeah, I mean, everybody except for Steffi K have got the text left to do.
Yes, exactly. And it might be to her advantage, because the text is what gets pretty tricky around the end. And for her, it might be easier to just fill in the gaps.
Yeah, because the middle section is a busy element. You have multiple faces and people. There's like some city or landscape in the background. And there's also this gradient going up there. So I think for Steffi K, who's just got, these lots of little patches, she'll be able to just plug in those gaps and find them where they go. Whereas the others will be doing rotating, trying it in multiple places. Where could it go? Mm-hmm. Maybe shape sorting and putting it off to the side, taking another one and going in multiple places. So we'll see if this pays off for Steffi K.
Yes. So go, Steffi. But to like piece count wise, she might be very closely followed by Joanna. But it's hard to tell from like just a bunch of pieces. Everyone is so very close to each other. Like it's very hard to tell from the camera of like how many pieces are left.
Yeah, it looks like multiple people have about 50 pieces left. Steffi K's pile is gaining a bit less. And I've also added Maria to the screen. I mean, some of it is blocked by and we can see she's got a little bit of pieces also on the other side of her. But she's also done the text as well. So she's only got the middle gaps to fill in.
And then Saskia is also pulling up very much. Now it feels like she's making good progress as well, like catching up to, I would say, Steffi. Hard to see though.
Yeah, I can see both Ulla and Saskia are standing up and trying to keep up that momentum and that physicality, keeping the speed up and not getting too comfortable. They can see that the finish line is in sight. They just got to stick with it.
It is so very close, and this is when your hands start shaking. And when it gets especially difficult to really be accurate, and that's when all of a sudden there's a piece that you keep picking up and you can't find the place where it goes and it keeps being wrong. That's usually when the nerves kick in.
Yeah, so it's like the next, I think the positions from 3 to 10 are going to be really close, because we have several people all coming up. I've also added Karel and Katrin to the screen. They're also just got those final 50 pieces to go.
Very similar as well.
Trying to make sense of those texts. I like what Karel's doing. He's doing it from bottom upwards. So using that gradient, using the darker pieces at the bottom, and then just going across like a typewriter, trying to find where does that piece fit before placing it away. Whereas others kind of go from the outside and then try and work their way towards the middle. But Katrin, she's the one who we saw earlier who had done the text and got that block out of the way.
Yes. Doing great, everyone. Just keep pushing. The finish line is so very close. And there's still a podium place open. So just keep going. Don't give up.
Yeah, and we're really far away, like from the hour mark. Like we're definitely going to see some sub 50 finishes here. So really excited for everyone to get a good time. Oh, and Senna VT. Okay, I've got to jump right to the end. Where are you?
Someone might be surprising us.
So Sana has got her little board out, got them on top of the puzzle really close so she can just fill in those gaps in the text. Looking really great there, Sana. And Tammy, okay. Yeah, we can't see Tammy's full image, the puzzle. Oh, looking okay. Good, thanks, Tammy. Yeah, so she's also just got the gaps in the middle. So I think she's going to come in really close. So it could be Sana or Tammy or Stephanie.
Everyone is so super
Come
close. I just
on.
really hope that we don't miss anyone.
Yeah, it's oh, and Simona's also going well. I'm gonna have to switch.
Go, Simona. I also have like this speculation that the fact that it's a Ravensburger puzzle now, it helps to get faster times because it's a brand that people are used to, which might help because the piece cut is familiar to, I think, most people.
Mm. Yeah, no, that definitely helps with the shape work towards the end.
And SJ has a really controversial question, which is anyone unimpressed with the recent Ravensburger catalogs? And I can say that I'm not impressed whatsoever. I don't like any of the images, unfortunately. There were some that I have seen, which are like these garden tools or something like that. And those were...
Wait, there, Mandy. Mandy just finished. We didn't see Mandy. Mandy, where are you? Oh. Yeah, you did it. Okay, third place to Mandy.
Congratulations.
Congrats. Around just under the 49 minutes. Yay, go Mandy.
Very good.
Sorry, we didn't have you on screen. Okay.
There's so many people so close. I think Sana might be next to finish. And Steffi is super close behind her. But Simona also doesn't have very much left. Everyone is super close. Just keep going. There's still top 5, top 10. Oh,
it looks like there's a piece missing. Stephanie, is there a... Oh, well done, Steffi. Okay, 4th place. But it looks like there's a gap in her one piece. One missing.
One piece missing.
Oh,
where's your jokes?
It had to happen. Well done, Sana.
Congratulations. The top 5 is done. And then there was a question of how Stein is doing.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like Tammy's just got her last piece.
Amazing job, Tammy.
Right done.
Almost forgot to send the done.
Well done, Tammy.
Congratulations.
That's the unfortunately the problem of doing lots of American competitions and then switching to the EJJ that they don't write done when they're finished. Okay, so we also have coming up. Karel is looking really strong. Kira, Maria, Simona, Saskia, and Stein has his text section left to go.
Many people are closing in, so we might be missing some people, but we're trying to look through as much as possible. But yes, top 10 is still open, so just keep pushing. It seems to be a very good puzzle for everyone. Everyone is doing amazing progress.
Yeah, so come on, Saskia, you've got this.
Only a couple of pieces left. Maybe 10 now?
Well done, Saskia.
Congratulations!
Yeah, there's too many
Very
people. I
good.
can't put them all on the screen at the same time.
Everyone is too close to each other. But that's what makes it pretty exciting at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's really anybody's game. It really depends on the puzzle. And I mean, we're going to have a lot of finishes under an hour for this. This is really fantastic. So yeah, of course, we hope that everybody finishes in the 2-hour time frame. There's a lot of new people participating in their first competition and those who are just getting started. So hopefully, yeah, there's less pressure with a 50+ club. And yeah, I did. And hopefully this is a lot easier for you than the one with flowers. So
Yes, well, that flower puzzle was difficult.
well, I didn't need a pre-apology for this puzzle, so and I hope I never have to do that again. So
hopefully.
a good close coming up for Kira. Congrats, Kira.
Congratulations. And I think we could slowly invite our first finisher in for an interview. If she's still around, Daria.
Yes, so looking really good here as we come up to the 53-minute mark. A lot of people about to finish in the next few minutes. The next ones will be Karel and Simona. And then others working on the text section, but Yonake looking really solid there as well. So to recap, first was Daria, second Eva, third Mandy, fourth Stephanie, fifth Sana, sixth...
No, fourth Sana, then fifth Steffi.
No, Steffi wrote first, and then she wrote that she was missing a piece.
Ah, okay.
So Stephanie, then Sana, Tammy 6th, Saskia 7th, Kira 8th, Carol 9th, and Sarah 10th.
And 11th, Simona. Congratulations.
Yeah, so Sarah, I hope she improved her time with that one. Yeah, so she was about 54 minutes, and yeah, so actually her other previous time was 54 minutes. So let's, yeah, if Daria, if you're there, you can turn your camera on.
Daria has logged out from the meeting.
Okay, Daria, I saw her on YouTube. If you're there, you can hop back in if you'd like to have a podium interview.
If Daria is still around and you hear us. But otherwise, we can go on with Eva for now.
Yeah, so that text section really seems to be like the big blocky part that where most people are ending on. There is in the big O of the word one, you also have the skull and crossbones. So that part is usually done pretty well, and there's a gap between the two words where there's like a yellow strip going through, so that's also easier. But I did find myself having to rotate and place multiple times before I could get those pieces in.
Yeah, it does seem tricky, and it does seem like people are working hard on the text, especially with now on the screen, everyone just rotating and working on like those last pieces that make up the text. It does seem tricky. The question is if it's also a bingo. A bingo spot that or a bingo square that the podium finisher doesn't stay for the interview. But I think Eva is still around. Yes, Daria, you're supposed to be interviewed.
Yes, so Daria, you can turn on your camera and your mic, and we'd love to have a chat with you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Daria.
I didn't know I was supposed to be interviewed.
Have you never watched the Euro Jigsaw Jam? Daria, I'm very disappointed.
Yes, but I think you'd like get a cue or something about it. I didn't know it was just like when you finish first, then it's automatically that you get an interview.
Yeah, so if you finish on the podium, then we'd like to interview you. And then if we have time at the end, then we have a guest interview, which is someone who's not on the podium, but just someone we'd like to chat to. But yes.
How do you feel about your first place?
It's amazing. I've never tried it before, so it's like it's such a rush.
Yeah, we could see at the end that you were celebrating. I could see someone else in the room who was walking around.
Yeah,
and was super happy for you.
It rushed me a bit. No, it's amazing. I mean, I have done this puzzle a few times before, but this was still like a personal record for me.
Great, amazing. So this was your fourth try, if we have
this is
calculated.
the fourth attempt, yeah.
Yes. So why did you repeat it so many times, or do you repeat every puzzle so many times?
Actually, it's something I do as like a practice for the Nordic Championship, that all the puzzles that I do find particularly difficult, I just repeat them until it's like muscle memory for me.
Yeah, that is a pretty good approach. And like, what do you find the most challenging about this puzzle?
The text, definitely.
You left that for the end this time, right?
Yeah, I did. And then there's just like a lot of in the middle, like some brownish colors that just like fade together for me.
Oh yeah, yeah, that I can imagine. And then, so you're practicing now for the Nordic Championships.
I am.
How much do you practice?
All the time I have, besides of working and studying. So definitely 4 times a week probably, and I do EJJs and the Danish puzzle races as well in between to just get as much practice as possible.
Yeah, you really keep yourself busy with the online competitions then, and everything else.
Yeah, I try at least.
So then, how many puzzles do you do a day now?
I believe it's 500 pieces. I'm not that good at 1,000 pieces. I don't have the temper to do it, or the perseverance, I think.
But you do have some perseverance, since you're like doing so much with the other puzzles. So it's not necessarily about the piece count.
I mean, I can do it if it's like under an hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes tops, but 1,000 pieces, they take me several hours, and I just don't have the mental capacity for it.
Mm-hmm. So then, how did you get into puzzling? So then, I guess you started with smaller piece counts, and you never went into like the big ones, I assume, from what you're saying.
Yeah, like when I before I started speed puzzling, I did 1,000 piece puzzles, 1,500 pieces, and so on. And when I figured out speed puzzling was a thing, I just started with 500 and continued. And I do practice with like 99 piece puzzles as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just recently bought some 300, which I hope will help me get faster.
Well, hopefully. Yeah, it is a good strategy to go around it, because it does improve like the motor skills for it.
Yeah, I saw a video actually with Puzzle with Amelia, who actually recommended that you do smaller piece counts. So I thought it was a great idea up to Nordic Championships.
Yeah, I actually saw that video as well, and I also took that up for quite a while, and I do enjoy like these smaller piece counts, because it's like a quick rush, so it's just fun in itself as well.
It goes by so fast.
Yes. Which ones are your favorite?
I really do enjoy 99 puzzles right now. Right now, I'm doing this one a lot from Ravensburger. I like vibrant colors a lot.
Mm-hmm. So then that also kind of leads to the next question of like, what kind of puzzles do you like doing the most? Like, are you a busy puzzle type of person, or you go for gradients rather? Like, which kind of things do you like?
I enjoy gradients and flat colors mostly, so like cartoonish colors. Not that much nature and photographies and so on. The postcards are actually some of my favorites. The Ravensburger, London, New York, Paris postcards. Although they are a bit messy.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, if you had like if you could put together your own puzzle, what would it be?
Oh my god. um, honestly, I think it would be like the gradient rainbow ones, like from Cloudberries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are lovely.
Yeah, or like the rainbow gradient crypt one from Ravensburger, but just more vibrant colors, so it's easier to differentiate between the colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of get the picture. And then you have recently been to well, not that recently, it was almost a month ago, the Danish
A month
Championship.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. How was it? What was your experience?
It was my first championship, so it was really overwhelming. I was so lucky that my team managed to get a third place.
Ooh, congratulations. That is a great result.
So it was also my first time on a real podium. I
Wow.
got a trophy and everything, so that was just amazing. And I puzzled in the pairs competition with my husband, and we got all the bad puzzles that you saw, like the Eye of the Glacier and Epic Journey. We got everything.
Oh no. The
So
glacier puzzle is a nightmare.
Yeah, I can't believe they used it for our competition, but it was really perseverance, and we managed to fight through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was used at another competition somewhere before, and also as a pairs puzzle. And I kind of would assume that as a pair, it's nicer because then at least you have someone to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. And if people saw the live stream when everybody opened the bag, everybody yelled no. Like,
Yeah.
It was just a slap of disbelief that this could happen.
Yeah, it must have been like a real experience. Was it your first live competition?
My first live competition, I think it was in December with the EJJs. And I just remember it was a piece and pieces puzzle, and I didn't finish it within the 2 hours.
Yeah, but then you have been improving incredibly. Like even with like all the repetitions, now you got a 40-minute time compared to like how you started out. That is great.
Yeah, I mean, for first attempts, I'm around 1 hour, right under 1 hour, which is a lot better than I used to be several months ago. But when it comes to different brands, Piece and Pieces, and Nathan actually as well, my times are just lower because I think Ravensburger might just be a tad bit easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone said in the YouTube comments as well, which I kind of agree with too, that like the piece shapes and like they have eliminated like false fits pretty well, so it's kind of easier to work with it probably.
Yeah.
But also people are just more used to it in a sense.
Yeah, exactly, because they are the main sponsor for Worlds and for most championships as well, so it makes great sense.
Yes, exactly. And are you planning to go to Worlds?
I am indeed.
Very good. Do you already have a pair, a team? So are you going for everything or just individual?
I'm going for everything.
Yeah, of course.
So we'll see how it goes.
You should puzzle all the time. Yeah, great. Amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You must be very, very happy. I can see from the smile. And Michelle, do you still have any questions?
Yeah, you always have a lot of support in the chat. Who's commenting there?
It's my husband and my sister that usually are cheering on in the chat.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, well, it was a well-deserved win today. It was really great to hear that you had practiced this puzzle and that the text was difficult, but you just wanted to understand it and to just conquer this one. And today you're victorious, so congrats on a first place
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Great. Yeah, well, the finishes are rolling in right now. There's like a couple every minute, so we're up to more than 30 finishes now. 30 finishes. We're only at an hour and 6 minutes.
Great. People are doing amazing.
Yeah, so on screen right now we have Veroni, Maya, Jana, Yuka, Marilis, and Nadia all coming into the close in the next few minutes.
Just a very few pieces left. The one piece left.
Yeah, Jana's got the blue text to do, and Yuka. Yeah, he's got pieces on the top of the puzzle. So he has actually done the text, but there's the light gaps. They weren't actually gaps in the puzzle. They were actually just light colored pieces.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to see sometimes on the stream.
Congrats, Jana.
Congratulations. And then I could see that Eva is still in the call. She actually wrote in the chat while we were waiting for Daria. If you want, you can also put on your camera and we can chat a little bit.
Hello.
Hi, Eva.
Hi. Hello. Congratulations on the second place.
Thank you.
Did I understand correctly that this is your first try? No.
No, it's actually, I had a lot of luck with this one because on Saturday we have a competition in Łódź, Polish city.
Mhm.
And this competition is sponsored by Ravensburger. So and I'm going there. And actually I wanted to practice on Monday, I think. On Monday or Tuesday, I wanted to practice a Ravensburger puzzle. So, and I picked this one. So I
That is
literally did this puzzle 2 or 3 days ago. So I just had a lot of luck here.
That is indeed lucky.
Yeah. But I'm still very pleased with myself because I really, really improved my time a lot. By 9 minutes, I think, 8 or 9 minutes.
So what was your first time?
Around 50 minutes. That was
is
also good. I was also glad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great improvement.
Yeah. But I was surprised because usually I don't do well during competitions. I mean, I do worse than when I'm just speed passing at home on my own.
It's probably because of the pressure.
Maybe. And I think I'm more chaotic during a competition. And when I'm speed passing on my own, I'm, the chaos is not as severe.
Oh yeah. And then so this weekend is the competition that you're preparing for.
Yeah.
And it's actually surprising to me that it's a Ravensburger competition, because from what I have seen, like in Poland at the moment, it's mostly Treffel. Maybe.
Treffel and Castorland also. These two brands do a lot of competitions. I've never done a Ravensburger competition in Poland before. Mm-hmm. It will be the first one for me. But, I'm glad that... Yeah.
Is it all the association organizing these, or is just people and just like the sport is picking up? Because it feels like there's so many competitions in Poland now.
Yeah. The one on Saturday is organized by the association, Polish Speed Passing Association, but not all competitions are. Sometimes brands organize competitions during different events. And I think that the sport, as you called it, is definitely picking up in Poland. Well, I got interested in it at the end of last year. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the people who got interested in it recently. And I see that it's picking up, and I know that there are a lot of fast people in Poland.
Yeah, in Poland it is not easy to get to the top at the moment.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Arcadius just wrote that he's going to be with Eva on Saturday at this competition.
Yeah, it's in my team.
Oh,
nice. So then it's not just individual, but you have like the whole collection of like individual, pair, and team.
Yeah.
And then how many people do you have at these competitions usually?
30.
So
I think 30.
So they are not that very big competitions, but there's more of them. And are they like more like scattered around Poland, or is
Yeah.
it more centralized?
They are scattered, and usually they cap the number of participants at 30, 25 because because of the limitations of the rooms where they organize these things. But usually you have to sign in really fast if you want to get in. And there were some competitions where I wanted to sign in, but I didn't manage. I was not admitted because I was not. 30 people already signed in. So you can really see that people are interested in the competitions. And luckily, they are scattered throughout the country. So there's something for everybody.
Yes, that does sound quite nice, because Poland is not a small country. So I guess it's not easy to if there's just one competition somewhere, then it's not as accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
How much do you have to travel for the upcoming competition?
Hour and a half by car, so not far at all, because it's central, and I'm central in Poland as well. So that's why I'm participating. If I had to travel 8 hours or something like that, I would probably not do it.
Oh yeah. And then kind of the question arises, are you planning to go to Worlds?
Yeah. Yes, I am. That's actually my dream, and I'm doing it this year.
Very nice. And then there as well, solo, pair, and team?
Solo and pair, for sure. And maybe a team, but we are not sure yet. We are trying to organize and get 4 people, because right now we are 3. There are 3 of us. We need a 4th person. So maybe we'll see.
Yeah, the team searching function of the website actually works pretty well as well. But also on Instagram, if you just post, people usually find each other, from what I have seen.
Maybe we should try it. Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait.
And then do you get together to practice with your pair as well, or is it someone from further in Poland?
My pair is actually my boyfriend, and so we practice sometimes, but not a lot, because he's actually not really into the speed puzzling world. So our times are not spectacular, but it's not about times for us when it comes to pair competition. We just want to have the experience and go there together. So we'll probably won't win anything, that's for sure. But we'll have fun. So yeah, we practice from time to time when he agrees.
Yes, I can totally understand that. My husband is not very much into puzzling either. And then he's also traveling to the Worlds this year. And I'm kind of trying to convince him to join in the individuals, because I already have a pair. But he kind of wants to be part of the experience, which is an aspect of the world that seems so nice. And you can hear that from all around the place, that people just want to go there for the experience, because it's super exciting.
Yeah.
And then how do you practice for individual? Since you have also improved a lot from what you have told me, and especially since you started since the end of the last year, that is not that much of time. What do you work on?
Well, I started speed puzzling around October last year, but I have always loved puzzles, so, but it was just casual puzzling, 2,000, 3,000 piece puzzles. So, I'm quite used to puzzling in that way. But whenever I have time, and whenever I have time, I just puzzle. I practice puzzles, different brands, different types of images, usually in the afternoon. sometimes at weekends. Also, I think I improved a lot over winter when I didn't have the best lighting. I hated that. I got so frustrated at times, but it was important, I think, because now I can speed puzzle in many different circumstances, in bad lighting, in good lighting, in a quiet room, in a noisy room, and so on. And also, I think competitions are very important. In-person competitions, online competitions, and they help me improve a lot. I remember my first online competition, it was in January with a Euro Jigsaw Jam, and it was horrible. I mean, my hands were shaking, and I didn't know why. It's not that important. It's not that big, but I was so stressed and I couldn't think straight. And now it's much better after 4 months of practice. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. So yes, have you competed in anything else before you started puzzling, or is this the first setting where you are actually performing as in a competition setting?
No, never. Because I'm actually quite a competitive person. I get frustrated at board games when I'm not winning. So I always thought that I cannot take part in competitions because it would destroy me. It would just destroy me. I'm not cut out for this. But I love puzzling and I love speed puzzling so much that I wanted to try it. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy to say I don't get frustrated during speed puzzling. Usually.
Well, in a way, it differs from board games in that you don't see other people winning, so it doesn't get you annoyed.
Well, I do see other people winning. I hear other people winning. I'm in Poland, so I often hear Christian or Victor winning by 20 minutes or 15 minutes. So I could get frustrated, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. It's just I don't know. I think it's pure love for puzzling in me that wins over my competitive nature.
Mm-hmm.
So Eva, I saw on the Polish results, Szczebicki puzzle, that you came third in the most recent competition.
Yes, that was also a big one for me. I think that was because not all the best people were there, but I'm still taking it, and I am happy.
No, it's a great effort. I mean, there was still almost 30. Hang on, there was seven. Oh, I can't see the numbers, but yeah, there were. You got a third place, so you got to be in it to win it. So those people who were not there, they're not in the placements, but you can be very proud of that. And yeah, how was that puzzle for you? It's a very busy with lots of donuts and cartoon characters and cake people. Would you say that that's your type of puzzle? Very busy?
Yes, I love busy puzzles. It's quite difficult to do them during competition because it can get chaotic, but I don't mind. I love busy puzzles. I think I'm quite good at spotting details and seeing them in the picture. And yeah, so when I saw this donut puzzle, I was really happy.
Yeah. No, well, congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so anything else you'd like to share about puzzling in Poland and with your recent competitions?
Not really. I just think it's a great community. Speed puzzling community in general, worldwide community, Polish community, whatever. Everybody is great. So I'm really happy that I joined last year, and I cannot wait for further adventures and for the worlds and for other online competitions and so on, and for meeting new people.
Yeah, well, you'll come up and say hi at Worlds. Yeah, that will be lovely. Yeah, no, it's great that you've taking part and you're seeing progress in your own personal achievements, and for being part of great that you're part of tonight's competition. So thanks very much, Eva, and we'll see you another time.
Thanks, bye.
Bye. Yeah, so
I keep
everyone
muting my microphone.
Oh, everybody's doing great. I mean, we're at 1 hour and 22 minutes, and we've already had like 65 finishes. So I think everyone's on a really good trajectory to finish tonight. So we have about 29 puzzlers left. So everyone is doing well. If this is not your type of puzzle, just persevere and see how you get along. So let's see who was third place today.
Mandy, and she didn't want to be interviewed.
Okay, fair enough.
But in the meantime, Catherine got bingo, I think. Because especially when Eva said that it's a great community, someone was waiting for that. So it feels like that was almost orchestrated for someone to get a bingo there.
Well, it's almost like, it's just one of those things. It has to be said. It's wonderful.
Because it is true, that's why.
Yeah, and it's great to hear there's a great community in Poland as well. So on screen right now, we have Nora, Irma, Anna, Agnes, Everly, and Vesna, all on their way to finish. Irma, it looks like she's the closest with about 10 or 15 pieces. Or maybe it's Anna, I can't quite see. Oh yes, Anna. Her sleeves were blocking the rest, but yeah, fantastic. Anna is done. So yeah, let's have a chat with Cameron, who's been traveling recently and is now back in France and competing with us tonight. So you can... Oops.
There he is.
Yeah. Hi, Cameron.
Hello.
Hi, nice to see you.
Thank you very much. It was a fun puzzle. I've done a lot in the past weekend, but it was good to get back to it.
Do you feel out puzzled?
Had you asked me Monday, yes, but today is okay. That was a lot of fun. It's I've really only been speed puzzling since last summer, so this was the first time I could go to the Canadian Nationals. So it was great to go, because actually I realized that all the puzzlers I know are thanks to the EJJ. So I know lots of European ones and a few North American that joined, but really not many Canadian ones. It was really nice to be able to meet them all and to maybe put some faces to Instagram names and this sort of thing. It was a lot of fun. And the more people you meet, of course, the more you can find for future teams and pairs to relate to the previous. Yeah.
Yes, if I have seen correctly, you have found your pair and team now at Canadian Nationals. Is that correct?
Yes. So the pair, I'm pretty sure. Team, definitely. So I can maybe get to it a bit later, but maybe I'll say now. The winner of the solo one, when she was getting the award, she was brand new to the event, and she was saying, "Oh, thank you very much." They said, "Are you going to Worlds?" And she said, "Yes, but I have no pair or team, so I'm on the team that she's on." So that was great.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Did you go specifically for the competition, or were you connecting it with like a family visit?
Family visit for sure. Happily, a lot of them live very close to where the actual event is. It's a 40-minute drive, so it's really quite close given the size of the country. So that was great. And I did a little bit of work as well. I was picking up some, I do science work, so I was picking up some samples and analyzing some data. So a little bit.
Ah, yeah. So then it was like an all-in-one trip.
All-in-one trip.
Where in Canada was it exactly?
I'll just say a bit northwest of Toronto.
Yeah, that helps. If you said like a smaller town, I would have been lost.
No. So quite close, but a bit far away. Actually, it came up a little bit. I think often the competitions are a little bit out of the way to reduce costs. But in this case, it was also there because it's right beside the other sponsor for this event, so Ravensburger, of course, and the other one was quite a well-stocked store called Puzzles Canada, and they're not necessarily a big store, but it's packed floor to ceiling, 80 brands. It's everyone went shopping there during the.
So it's not like specifically a puzzle brand, but it's like a puzzle shop.
Exactly.
Ooh. And then what are like specifically Canadian brands that are like very much recommended or maybe even available here in Europe?
Actually, not many. That was why I was. I wish I bought even more. I don't know how many Canadian ones are here. Euro is mainly Canadian. So that you find here. Yeah. I went particularly for Villager puzzles, which I really like, but I can never seem to find. And so that was my main goal when I went into the store. There's a lot of smaller ones that have come up. I bought 1 or 2 puzzles from The Occurrence. It's a very small one, but it sounds very nice. It's, again, close to where the event was.
Is it like a smaller company, if I understand correctly? What was the name?
The Occurrence.
Never
and it says
heard
art
of it.
and science on it, so that fits very well too.
Yeah, and then how was the competition for you? Like, what did the whole event look like?
It was great. This is the 3rd year that they've had it, and I think they've changed and expanded every time. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the Friday was just a social event. Okay, so you could go in the afternoon into the evening, and they had a big puzzle, something called speed dating puzzle style, where you just sat opposite someone and you could puzzle. But specifically, they organized a puzzle chess event, which is the first time I've ever tried it. It was super great for a social event because I think everyone I met across the table during the puzzle chess, I talked with for the entire weekend. It was just a super good way to get to know people.
And then how does it work? Like a puzzle chat like this?
The puzzle chess. What they had is they had I think 64 people. Let's say, doesn't matter the number, but we sat down for the first round. I actually sat beside who would be in my team later. We hadn't met before, but she was on the same team, so I was across from my newly found team member, and basically, you played the first round. You had a chess app to count down as you put one piece at a time and going back and forth. And whoever took the least time wins. And so they were nice because most people were doing it for the very first time. So that I actually lost the first round by 4 seconds. But so my future teammate were very well matched. So we were both very happy. But they had a kind of a backup round. So the winner went to one competition and the one who didn't win went to another competition, and then you just treated it like a normal competition. So you had at least 2 games no matter what, which is good, because for most of us, it was the first time. And I made it to the semifinals, so it was a great time. Super happy.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, and then from what I understand, it's also like a pretty good opportunity to like bring people together.
Definitely, because it's not the same type of event, so you don't. Even if you're really, really good at speed puzzling, you might actually not be that great in puzzle chess and the reverse, because you're forced to build in from the edges, which is not what you would normally do given the choice. You pick the red thing or the green object or the house. No, you have to go in from the edge. So that's it's a different strategy, and it was interesting. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that was the social part.
Great.
It was very effective, I think. That was really nice. And then we went on to the 2 days of the competition. I brought back most of the puzzles. You can see beside me. One thing I will say already that they did very well is we had qualifying for each event, solo, pairs, and teams. And for each of the qualifying, there were 2 groups. And I'll show you the first one to explain it a bit better. But they did a very good job pairing the two images so that you really felt it was very fair between the two ones. So the very first round, it was the only round where it wasn't a Canadian artist. So it's Canadian pictures, but not a Canadian artist. So there was a picture of mountains and lake and a different picture of mountains and lake. So quite similar. They both had the difficulty of the mountain. I think in both cases, the mountains were done last by everyone. But enjoyable. And so I think that was a really good way to start. It was we were all waiting. The thing was, we knew the different artists. We didn't know which puzzles would be which artist, but we knew the list of 6. We knew the styles. So it was a little shock opening the bag the first time because it was a photo. What is it? I don't remember this in the list. But they couldn't get every single puzzle. So every puzzle was unreleased and new, which is excellent. So it makes sense. You have a few photos as well, and they're very nice photos. I believe you liked the one with the.
Yes, I like the one with the boats. That's the one that I wrote you about first.
Yeah, so I brought that one back. So that's good. An extra one. Yeah. So that was the solo round, which was great. And then the final one for that was the first of the Canadian artists, and it was probably the most brush stroke type image. If you can see it.
Yeah, that is a challenge.
Yeah, so it's very nice, though, very colorful. There's a house with, you can see here, there's a house that's yellow and some trees. Every single person did this tree last, but a lot of people didn't finish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But very enjoyable and nice to have the first of the Canadian artists. That was fun. And then they also started the pairs competition. And for the pairs, I wanted to add one very enjoyable thing. I didn't know any Canadian puzzlers, except, as I said, by names and Instagram names. But when I was watching one of the recaps, I saw my neighbor from when I was in high school in the room last year for Canadian Nationals. I went, wow. I think that's her. So I wrote a message saying, do you want to be a partner or a pair for the upcoming event? And she said, yes. We haven't seen each other in, I don't know, I'll say 30 years, something like that. So that was a great way to catch up and actually have a lot of fun. So that was super nice. Unfortunately, we had a puzzle full of fur. So that was ours.
Oh God, yeah. That's not the nicest puzzle.
No, but it's still enjoyable because you have fun, you talk, you build, it's okay. And the other one, this is again very well paired because the same artist did the other one as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's a different style. Actually, I think more colorful and maybe, well, who knows? It's underwater. Some people also have issues with underwater pictures. So okay, that's very nice. And you can see I like them because I brought all these ones home with me. And the final for the pairs was very appropriate. As I mentioned, the event was very close to Toronto, and it was a very nice artistic, but a bit comical artistic rendition of Toronto. So
this one is amazing.
I like that one. I saw that and I was like imagining, oh, okay, so how would I do that as a team? Someone can do the sky, someone can do the red buildings, somebody else do the yellow buildings. And like I was mentally dividing it up in my head.
Yeah, it feels like it's something you can divide well with a team.
I agree. I mean, this was Paris, but you definitely do it as a team.
Ah, yeah, the pair. Even as a pair, you can divide it up quite well.
Oh, perfectly. Yes. Yeah. So I think it was a very good choice. Everyone, when we ranked the puzzles at the end, just as a rough poll, I think this was the second favorite one overall. That was nice. And then, as I mentioned, for team, what happened was I just looked up lists for people asking, do you want to help complete our team? So I met 3 other people. 2 of them were from the west coast of Canada, and one was a bit north, even further north of Toronto. We met for the first time there. We were called the False Fits.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. They were super nice. We more or less just went right into it. We didn't really have a chance to practice. It's also the first time I've ever done teams at an event, so it was really enjoyable. I think we had a nice picture. We had this one. I don't know if you saw it at the event. It's quite a colorful print. It has basically trees of lots of different colors.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. I was sitting closest to the sky, so that was the part I know the best.
Is it also like very heavy on brushwork, or is it more like a little bit smooth?
Super clean lines. It was very, very nice. Very sharp. The colors, I'd say, were quite close to the image on the front.
Mm-hmm.
So it was quite bright. It was very enjoyable. And this was probably the highlight of the event for me, at least, because our team was fourth for the qualifier. So it was
amazing.
That was super great. I think it fed to all of our strengths, even though we were meeting for the first time.
Yeah, but then that's a good, well made up team. Like it's a lucky combination.
So that was very nice. And then the top pick of the puzzle was actually the other team one.
Yeah, this one is my favorite from the entire.
Exactly. And from the poll, it was everyone's favorite as well. So this is the top one. I think if I show it again, you can just see how to divide it. There are houses, there's water, there's sky, and buildings of different colors. I think we were very jealous that we didn't have that one, but I like the one we had as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, actually, that the one that we did do, I now have a second puzzle in my artist signing kit.
Nice.
Very nice.
So she was there. So like the tea set in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
I have this too. It's always nice to see the artists, to see what they were thinking, how they enjoyed it, why they enjoyed
it is so incredible. Like I wanted to like go more into like how amazing it is that like every puzzle is unpublished, but it's like, is the like Canadian Ravensburger in connection with the US Ravensburger, or is it one as in North America, or is it two different?
North America, you are quite correct. Yeah.
Yeah. But then they probably have kind of the same strategy in that like they have the artists there, they have like apparently then a meet and greet as well, which is just so cool.
It is really nice. I think it adds a lot to it to see whoever it is that came up with it. It brings a different character to the whole experience and also to the puzzle when you do it the second time, because you obviously don't meet them before, probably, because that would tell you what image is coming up. But afterwards, you can say, I really enjoyed this, and you can tell them how it was. I think they're always very nervous when they make images for puzzle competitions, because if
they don't want to have a gasp or a groan when it's taken out of the bag, like, oh. But
yeah,
hopefully there were more positive reactions.
Continue with what Michelle just said. So this is the qualifying. When we got to the final, I know that Fuji liked the image, but the room just erupted into groans because it was it's a very nice image, but it has about 100 to 200 little tiny things randomly put on the poster, on the image. There's a nice women's head. It's the only one I don't have, but there's a women's head in the middle, and then seahorses, pianos, violins, butterflies.
It's like a big compilation of like art pieces.
Yeah, with each image, maybe 4 pieces.
Yeah.
And so the entire round, you'd hear people saying, "Does anyone have a dog under a piano?" Or these random statements. I don't know.
How many teams finished it? Or how was it for the teams, like with finishing it, and like how was it with the results?
Yes, I think so, because we never really practiced, we had a little bit of a harder time with this one because it really required you to somehow strategize, and that was a little bit beyond what we would have done. But the only thing I would have said is that we actually shape sorted quite early, which was a bit odd in before going into this. I would not think in a complicated image like this that would be something you do very early. But it turns out that everyone who's shape sorted, in fact, the earlier the better, because it was just so complicated to picture that at least if you knew, the shape to go for, you could find the little dog or the piano or seahorse or whatever it was you're looking for much easier. That was, we got it eventually, but we finished, which is great. I think only 47, wait, no, it was only 20 people. I think about half, I don't know, it was over half, but it wasn't a lot. 27 maybe out of 40.
Yeah, well, that also shows that it was a challenging puzzle as well. And then how many participants were there in total? Like in individual, how many competitors did you have?
230, let's say, in solo, that many pairs as well, and then 80 groups, I believe, teams, 80 teams.
Yeah, that is already a sizable competition.
And it was a lot. It was about, if you looked at the list of names and all the different events, it was maybe 500 people. So I think that's quite a lot. The other nice thing is they drew lots of names during the, at the beginning of each round, they would draw 10 to 20 names, giving free puzzles, as prizes. So I got one that I don't know if I would have bought necessarily, but I actually think will be quite fun. It's a bunch of tractors.
Oh, nice.
Which you wouldn't think, but then if you look at the background, there's actually a lot of interesting things that different strategies you could maybe try. So I haven't tried it yet, but that was
So they were just distributing puzzles as like a raffle.
Yeah, so you bought raffle tickets as well. That was a separate thing. But also at the start of every round, they just said, okay, we randomly picked them, and table 20, this person gets one. Table 6, that gets one.
That is
and then
so
just
nice.
came around with your puzzling. Yeah.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah, it meant that you had a chance to win, even if you didn't, place in the very top. Nice.
Yeah, that must also be like a nice experience for everyone who goes there. But I get something out of it.
Very much. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next thing I registered for. It's actually just the solo so far, but the European one in Budapest.
Yes.
I'm looking very forward to that. I hadn't arranged a pair or a team yet, but I think that would be interesting. So it's open out there. I will announce it.
There are people looking for pairs and teams at that competition as well, so it should be fine.
Excellent.
Yes.
I've never been to Hungary or Budapest, so I'm very interested in that part too.
Well, I can only recommend it. I was born and raised in Budapest, so I'm very familiar with the city. I can only recommend visiting for everyone.
Excellent.
Yes, and I can recommend this puzzle. I can recommend.
I saw it when I got back, and it was a very good advertisement, both for the event and for the city.
Yeah, it actually came out perfectly that way.
And it looks like it was a very good puzzle to do in general. I saw the times and the way people approached it. It all looked very fast and very satisfying.
Yeah, so I just want to mention that, we're coming up to, we're at 1 hour and 45 minutes, so we still have 15 minutes to go. And we've had a lot more finishes in the last few minutes. The last ones to finish were Julie, Mayday, Kirsten, Karen, and Jessica. So fantastic. And we're rooting for those who are still puzzling. Laura, Teresa, Connie, Andreas, Cara, and Dora. So 15 minutes to go. Give it your best, and hope to see a lot more places, a lot more pieces placed, and hopefully some finishes coming up.
Yes, Connie is almost done from what I can see.
Yeah, so what was the hardest part for you, Cameron, of this puzzle?
The one we just did, the jet lag. No. There was, in the middle part, when it wasn't a large character or the text, I found this one, that was the only hard part, because there's a lot of little bits that look, it could be some of the, I don't know any of the characters, but the the older guy with the cape coat, or I don't know. That was the most for me. It was just the let's say the middle section on both sides. That was the.
Yeah, because you have like some pieces that are like kind of beigey, and it could be clothes, it could be the town in the background, the landscape, it could be the coat or skin. So yeah, there are a lot of like these orangey, beigey colors in the middle. That's if you don't know what it is, like it's a bit harder to place if there's no detail on it.
In contrast, I found the text. I almost wish that I was listening to the commentary as I was doing it. My very first pairs partner ever was Steffi K. So I always listen to when you hear her name. You know what? When you do a team or a pairs with someone, you actually do follow them, and you really enjoy when they succeed because you feel, I don't know, you get to know them quite well. So I heard that she did the text earlier, and I think actually that was not a bad idea. I think in this case, there was colors behind it. You could really ignore all the letters and just fit the bright yellowy orange in the background. But I did almost last.
Tell us about your T-shirt. Is that your team from Canada?
It is. So it's the false fit. I never really got a full explanation for why this was chosen, but this piece definitely doesn't go there. You can see there's outs and outs. That doesn't work. One of the team members was the one who actually decided to have a team and to advertise, can you come and join? So she I think is still a teacher. So there's maybe some aspects of being organized for events like this. And it was very motivating because she kept all of us all excited and ready to go. And yeah, she printed shirts for everyone, which is already a really great thing. If you go to an event, I do recommend, even if you don't know the people, wear shirts that are similar and you already feel like you fit in. So
even if you're a false fit, you still feel like you fit in.
That's right. Even if you're from, living outside the country, you still fit. Yeah.
And then how often do you get to go and visit Canada? How long have you been in France?
I've been in France a long time. I think 17 years, if I.
Okay.
And I almost always return at Christmas time because they do not get as many holidays in Canada as we do in Europe. So it's easiest to visit all relatives and friends during Christmas when they actually have at least a week off to visit. The only bad thing is then I always go, at the start of winter. So it was a bit repetitive, always the same time of year. So since COVID, I more often try to mix it up a bit. So this was great to go in the spring, for example. I've been in the summer sometimes, but it used to be Christmas every single year, and that was it.
Yeah. But now puzzling gives you an opportunity to go more.
Yeah, why not? Yes. And I think it will be in approximately this location, at least for the next year.
Mm-hmm.
I think. It's like all places that it's grown so much. The entire event, all 3 sections, I think sold out in 2 hours.
Wow.
Something like that, which shows you that they really need more. Like, it's so much interest that people clearly, if they just forgot or had the wrong day, they were out. So it's very, very popular. They'll need to somehow make it bigger, but this is not always easy. Venues that are bigger than that are more expensive, maybe harder to book. So we'll see. But it was super, super popular. And so they're going to, I think, try to do it in the same place. Somehow, maybe fitting more people, more of the rounds. I think this is hard. In contrast, the UK also had their first one, and I decided to visit some friends and go to that one. And even the day of the event, you could still enter as a pair. So there was it's interesting. A different. I'm sure next year will be different, but for this first one in the UK, it was well attended, but they still had a bit more space, so you could really get to people who weren't sure at the start, but decided, that actually sounds very nice. I should go to that, which is nice.
Yeah, but that is actually pretty nice that they could be flexible like that. But if like the Canadian one was like sold out that quickly, then yeah, you can't fit more people in.
No, and there were some who I met in the teams who wasn't able to do the solo or pairs because they were just too late. But at least they still came and had a lot of fun. But
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to upgrade for next year. But it feels like every championship needs to upgrade until next year. Because
I
it
agree.
is growing everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. I think I noticed the size of the German one, and that's also very big and very well attended.
Yeah, that was also a sold out event. I know that there were at least 40 people on the waiting list, or maybe even more. I can't exactly remember, but there were a lot of people on the waiting list. And yeah, in Germany it exploded. That's a different story.
Okay. Yeah. And are you specifically involved at all with the European event, or are you just?
I am going to be working with the organizers. I'm not in the organizing team specifically, but I will be working on the live stream during the event. So I'm not going to be competing, but I am going to be there. So we're going to meet there.
Because I have your puzzles.
Yeah, I know. But maybe we can meet before that. You don't necessarily have to fly them all the way to Budapest. So that's going to be a different story.
But you know what? I need space because I'll have to bring back puzzles. So you know you can.
You can take placeholder puzzles. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. That's a different story. I'm really looking forward to trying the Canadian puzzles because I was pretty excited about like at least trying some of the like Canadian artists because like I don't remember where or why I got the idea, but I was thinking that it's going to be like nice because they are unpublished, and I jump for unpublished puzzles always. And it's also like a unique thing to like get. So, like not many people get their hands on Canadian puzzles here. I'm not sure if they're going to make it available because I do remember some Ravensburger puzzles being available here that are like Canadian themed, but I don't think that those are in connection with like Canadian nationals. They are older puzzles.
I think I imagine the ones that you're talking about, and yeah, they're not. I don't think they're quite connected. They're themed. They have a maple leaf on them or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I actually should add, just in case people don't know this tip, one of the biggest packing advice I ever had related to puzzles was from Fuzi for this. Coming back is I brought back lots of 1,000-piece puzzles and lots of 500-piece puzzles. And she pointed out you can, cut your size in half just by opening the seal if they haven't been already opened during the competition, and you put the 500 inside the 1,000, and you put both bags in, and they fit perfectly. So in the space of one 1,000 puzzle, you have a 500 inside. That was the best advice. So thank you again.
You're very welcome. The thing is, like, I learned it from somebody else at Worlds as well. And then I took it, like, I think to a different level in that, like, I put the bottom of the box into the top. So, like, the top was open for the boxes. The puzzles were in bags. And then I have clothes in the boxes as well. So, like, they were completely built into the suitcase. Because if you go to Worlds, you come away with a lot of, like, more puzzles than what you came away with now.
Okay.
So you have to like get ready for like the puzzle Tetris that you're going to be playing.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yes.
So for the theme for today, would you like to explain your answer a bit more about how your personality and skills are reflected by your puzzling style?
Yeah, I've definitely heard some common, I'd almost say word for word for some of it to what I put in that I'm very easily distracted in life, at work, in any activity. Multitasking is fun. I think in my job too, it actually suits it quite well. But yes, when puzzling, I almost always take pieces for something and then quickly do something else just before I collect all those pieces. I think that's just one of these things I do. It's very, so easily distracted is what I wrote. And is still good because I definitely don't mind giving up on something and moving on, because you're actually not giving up, you're just distracted by a different section. So I think it is good for going around, but it's not good for at least sticking a little bit through, getting the pieces that you need for a certain part. But I think it's actually, it sounds like quite a few people said they move around a lot. And maybe if you go with that and you know that's your approach, then it can work. You just have to know that that's what you do, I guess.
I think having an awareness that you do it is the first start to the the acknowledging that, yeah, I do jump around a lot and I can get easily distracted. And then it's interesting. Like sometimes I've purposely ignored something, like sometimes, like for example, if it was a puzzle like this, I would see a face and I was not working on the faces, but I'm like, I kind of want to just stop what I'm doing and just grab that face and place where it is. And sometimes I just overcome it. I just say, no, I'm going to be disciplined and finish this section first, and then I'm going to come back and do like the detailed parts.
I did that at least once or twice this time, only because I heard, the people that, as you were going to different people, lots of people mentioned there's distraction. I go, okay, no, this one time I'm not going to do it. Because as you said, if you know it and then you think about it. So it was a very useful question actually for this EJJ, because it's revealing as well. I never really thought about my characteristic.
Yeah, I'm pretty fascinated with it, because like anytime you ask people about this specific question, it's always a different answer in a way, and it always makes you think a little bit about how you puzzle, how you can try out different things just by like placing yourself into someone else's position, which I really, really like. So it's an exciting topic, I find.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm looking forward to these EJJ as well. Okay.
Oh yeah, I spotted them on the side before.
Yes, we have four different ones there. So
yes.
So have you?
This very interesting yellow one, by the way. I don't know what it is, but
yes, that's going to be an exciting one. It's a very oddly shaped box, the yellow one. What do your friends think of? Oh, hang on, we're actually we're in the last minute. So, yeah, good on you, Andreas, Cara, and Dora. Find a few more pieces to place, and yeah, go.
You're doing great. You have puzzled for almost 2 hours. You're almost through. It's a great achievement to puzzle for this long without stopping. So just keep going. You're almost there.
Yeah, so yeah, it looks like, so Cara has completed the text section and has got the middle parts left, and yeah, Andreas has also done the text section. That's fantastic, and working on the clothes and on the middle section. Oh, Andreas has done so great. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Oh, well done, Andreas, Cara, and Dora. Good job.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Please count your pieces and put in the chat how many you have left.
I think Dora has done more than her previous puzzle. I think she has less pieces to count. So that's a big, good improvement there. Definitely looks like there's more completed sections. Yeah, so just count up the pieces and let us know in the chat. Yes, I just wanted to ask, what do your friends think of you doing online speed puzzling competitions? Do they think it's a little bit crazy?
It has ranged. One of them, a very good friend of mine, first thought it was more like one of these movies where they spoof a sport. I can't think of an example, but anyway, something where whatever the sport is, I was just making it up to see what they would think they were saying. But I was also surprised that at least 2 of them actually were doing it as well. They had started to time their puzzling, and I think what it shows is that probably your friend group at least some of them will share some characteristics or some passions with you. So there were two that actually had already started, and one of them was my pairs partner for the UK one. So it was just someone who I randomly, hey, their partner said, my partner is actually starting to time their puzzles. Maybe you should be a partner with them. Okay, sure, great. I didn't know that you did this. It's not something you would ask, at least at the usually it's not the first question you ask one of your friends. But
well, it could be. It could be. Hi, how are you? Are you timing yourself with jigsaw puzzles?
See, that's natural, but
get straight to the point. Can we be a pairs partner? I'm looking for a pair.
I like it. Okay.
So you're pretty much dragging other people into puzzling now as well.
Yes.
Very good.
But that was the reason you went to the UK Nationals.
Yes. First of all, there was availability. You could go, and yeah, it was someone who was actually really just starting. It was they wouldn't have gone otherwise. They definitely didn't want to join the solo. But I thought, this sounds like a great opportunity to go as a pair, and it's super enjoyable. It was
yeah, and is your partner keen to do another one?
Yes.
So they just need to get their feet wet and
absolutely. Next time they'll do solo, and they also want to improve, of course, the pair time. So perfect.
Yeah, fantastic.
Great.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Cameron. Thanks for being part of this competition and also sharing your experience at the Canadian Nationals. And it's great to see all those beautiful puzzles and varied illustrations that you got to do at that competition. Yeah, so keep in mind, Cameron is looking for pairs and teams at the European Championships. You can contact him on Instagram or let me know. I have his details. And so really great that you're a traveling puzzle person, and look out for this t-shirt at a competition near you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Cameron. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so we were really close today. We had 3 people who didn't finish, but look, they did a really good job of puzzling for 2 hours, and not with the easiest puzzle if you're not a fan of busy puzzles or movie style posters or faces. It is a trickier one, but really glad that everyone gave it their best shot and that we had some really fast times at the other end. So thanks to all of our participants and all of our followers on YouTube and those playing bingo, and we really appreciate your company. So thanks so much, Furushi. And actually, I'm going to see you. So Furushi's coming to my house.
See you very soon. We're going to having a team practice very soon.
We're having our first team practice. This is our team for Worlds, and also for the we'll be making our debut at the Puzzle Blitz in Siegen, organized by Furushi. And looking forward to I'm going to find out exactly what kind of a puzzler are you, and are you so chaotic? You might find out that I'm a bit bossy.
No, that's good. Every team needs a boss. We'll play out the power play over the weekend.
Yeah, no, we're going to figure it all out, all our strengths and how our personalities and skills, how we all bring that to the table, and team puzzle together. So thanks, Furushi, and thanks everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye.